Never. Oh, I never know how to start these things. Probably should come up
Yeah,
with.
usually you say something like, "You guys didn't think we'd be back, but we're back."
This is even worse this time.
You say that every time.
Keeps getting longer. I'm sorry, people. We were planning on coming back trade deadline night, and then he didn't show up, and I had some shit happen. Here we are now. He wanted to do a Lynn Sandy special. I said that shit would blow over. It blew over. I don't know if you can tell by that laugh. We have another special guest this time.
What's up, man? It's Nightmareballa. You guys probably know me. Probably not. I don't know. Not sure. But oh well.
We got to play that theme song for him. That "Want to Be a Baller" song.
Oh,
you know what I'm talking about? That.
But the reason Markeem's here is because he's a big fan of the Pro Prospects Are Us game, college basketball, and I'm not sound like an idiot. This is March. Y'all know what's going on. You know what's going on this Saturday in New Orleans. While the players are in their locker room, the New Orleans Hornets are locking everybody in there, forcing them to play next season. But this weekend is the Final Four.
That was a good one. That was a good one.
This weekend is the Final Four in the Mercedes-Benz Superdome, which the roof has been remade, and y'all get to see it this weekend. Y'all want to see what y'all know has been done to it?
No, what? What did he do?
The roof now has a large Mercedes-Benz logo painted on top of it.
Stupid.
I know.
I thought you were bullshitting about that, the Mercedes-Benz Superdome.
No, now it's going to be even worse. I just can't wait till the Louisiana Seafood Arena Spiced by Zatarans.
What?
That's what they're going to rename the New Orleans Arena.
God.
Let's get bought. But anyways, we got Kansas versus Ohio State, and intra-state Final Four, right? Which is probably going to be nuts for that state. But Louisville versus oh, God dang it, Phil! Y'all keep talking. I got to deal with this guy tweeting. Markeem, take over.
Yeah. Both of these games have a lot of just different storylines involved in it. You got Kansas, who had to get through North Carolina to get here, and if y'all know, Roy Williams left, Kansas for North Carolina. That was a big game in itself. A lot of people saying Kansas don't deserve to be here because Kendall Marshall didn't play. I'm a little biased because I have a little vested interest in this Kansas team. Like coming into the season, I was really high on them, high on Thomas Robinson, still am. I feel like if they had an award for most valuable player in the country, he would win. He probably won't win most outstanding player because Anthony Davis has been unreal this year. But if they had most valuable, he definitely win it. But this game, I think this game will come down to two things. Because Jared Sullinger, as Chase will point out, he's horrible against speed and mainly the pick and roll, the transition game. He's terrible. Like when it comes to actually moving, he's awful. So and then Thomas Robinson, that's actually one of his strengths. So I think in the low block, it's going to be tough for him to deal because especially with Tyshawn Taylor playing the way he did the last game. Like this is the guy we expected to see all tournament, and I don't know what was up with him, to be honest with you.
I thought Bill Self was gonna kill him when he shot that transition three with only nobody back.
Like he's one of those guys. He kind of reminds me of who would be a good what would be a good example? Who's a pro player that
does shoot dumbass shots? I can give you a whole dick.
No. I mean, like when he's on, he's really on, and when he's bad, he's really bad.
J.R. Smith.
Well, J.R. Smith was stupid, but somebody else, I don't know. But he
be Gilbert Arenas back in.
There you go, Gilbert Arenas. That's perfect, as a matter of fact. When he's on, he's amazing. So it depends on which Tyshawn shows up. So I do think Kansas either way will win. Like even if he plays bad, Aaron Kraft doesn't score consistently. Jared Sullinger, I doubt as a post scorer, he is pretty good. But I've said all year, the guy has no heart. Like I've always said, the dude is overrated. He has no fucking heart. You know what I mean? They have what, 9 losses, something like that, 9 losses.
I don't think it's hard. I don't think he has any damn conditioning.
Well, that too. But he, I just think he can't score on Thomas Robinson. I really like a lot of people think this game would be close. I don't even think it's gonna be close. I think Kansas is gonna beat them by at least 10. That's just me. Just me.
And the way most of these games for Kansas, they have been awful offensively. They've really been winning it solely on D.
But that's them. That's how they play. That's how they beat people.
And Ohio State, I mean, it's going to be really interesting because Jared Sullinger and Thomas Robinson are literally polar opposites of each other. Just Sullinger's a power post guy, whereas Robinson's more about speed and quickness. I mean, the thing that's really improved about him last year is that his freshman and sophomore years, he didn't nearly, I don't know what he did in the offseason, but his handles have improved dramatically.
Oh, you know the story behind that, right?
No.
During the lockout, he was working with Mario Chalmers, so has a lot to do with it.
Okay, that would explain a bit. But yeah, I don't. I mean, the biggest thing has been all years that Ohio State doesn't really have anybody else to go to for consistent scoring other than Jared Sullinger, and he's going to have to deal with Withy and Thomas Robinson on him.
And speaking of that white guy, what is the deal with him this tournament? What happened? Like, he just woke up one morning and was like, dude, no one's going to score on me. It's not going to happen. He's always been, pretty consistent on defense all year, but not like he is in this tournament. It's crazy.
10 blocks.
10 blocks. Nuts. I don't know, but if he plays like that, though, they can play with anyone. But we'll get to that. I'm pretty sure we will.
We'll get to that.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
Robin, do you have anything to add, or is this going to be me and Markeem dominated?
Oh, about the Kansas-Ohio State?
Yeah.
I mean, I really haven't watched a lot of both teams. I mean, I got sick during the Syracuse game, but I was surprised that they won, actually.
No Fab Mello, yo.
Yeah, I just
Oh, and props to Syracuse, and I hate to cut you off, Sanders. Props to Syracuse because they did not have their best. I would say their best player. He ain't that great of a scorer, but I'd still say their best player. And they didn't have him. They made him They made it all the way to the Elite Eight and made it respectable. Like, they didn't go in there and get crushed. So Jim Boeheim and Syracuse, they should be proud of themselves. I'm just being honest.
It seems like the favorite over here on the East Coast is Ohio State, though.
I wonder if that has anything to do with your region, not actual basketball talk. Like, what are they?
It's more because of Sullinger.
Oh God, that dude is not center god. I mean, I got to think of it.
But here's the thing about Kansas, though. I mean, they just barely won that game the other night.
They won by like 9.
They exploded during that last quarter. I mean, the last quarter.
Some people
second.
But they were still there. The backup point guard. Did he even get any playing time during the year?
Stillman White.
Yeah. He
4 minutes a game.
Like the thing with him though is that he's going to be there when Marshall leaves. Like, he's kind of like if y'all remember, I hate to draw a comparison to Tim Tebow, but it's kind of like that Florida team. Remember that when Tim Tebow he just come in for like a down or so, and then he's that guy. Like, y'all hear about him next year.
Okay.
But yeah, that was probably the best game of the tournament. But oh man, you and Harrison Barnes, you want to talk about draft stock slop? Actually, collectively, because
that whole front line.
Yeah, they're all like, because of Kendall Marshall's injury. Even though he's hurt, his draft stock has gone up because now people are actually seeing that 6 high school All-Americans could not score without this one dude. And it's nuts.
I hate them in general though. I'm a Duke fan, so
I know that, but it is like sometimes you don't realize how important one player is, and then sometimes you overemphasize the importance of one player, like Derrick Rose. And
there you go. There you go.
Come on, like. But yeah, without Kendall Marshall, they're nothing. I mean, they barely got past Ohio, a team they should have, considering if you looked at it on paper, just demolished.
Yeah.
And it took overtime. Kendall Marshall's probably going to be a very good point guard for very many years in the league. Does he want a degree, or is he going to come out now? That's the only question.
I have no idea. I could care less about anything North Carolina does, but I hate the guy. But it's a good hate. He's a stud, man. He's a stud for real.
Oh, where are we? I guess we should talk about the Kentucky showdown.
But before I just threw Louisville under the bus, which is what's going to happen. I'm sorry, but before I do that, I have to give Rick Pitino a lot of credit, because if you would ask me, take each top 4 seeds from every region and the least likely team to make the Final Four, I would have told you Louisville, because that team all year has been up and down. They have not been able to score, and still haven't. But they've been like bad most of the year, and it's just this time of year, this last month of the season, something happened, and now they're playing their best basketball. I don't think Kentucky will come in here and kill them, but I think in the last 3 minutes they'll run away with the game. I think they will fight. Like they'll have it around 5-6 points the entire game, and in the last 3 minutes Kentucky will just run away with it. Like Anthony Davis, man, that's all you got to say is unibrow. That's all you have to say.
We'll get to him once we get to that.
I was listening to Calipari today, and they were talking about the game from the season. I think Louisville, they lost by 7 to Kentucky. I think it's like 69, 62.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I think Louisville tied them with like 8 minutes left, and then just like you said, Kentucky ran away with it. So
you saw it in the Baylor game. Like Baylor got up 5, and then Kentucky hit this switch, and they went on a 16-0 run.
Everything was falling.
They made it look easy. That team is so crazily talented.
And it's not only the talent. Like in college, you would see like players of this caliber: Michael Kidd-Gilchrist, Anthony Davis,
Terrence Jones.
Terrence Jones. All these guys, they could have went anywhere else in the country and been Player of the Year candidates. You know what I mean? They could have put up 20+ points. Anthony Davis, honestly, could have put up 25+ points, 15+ rebounds, and like all the 4 blocks a game like he is now, and would have been runaway Player of the Year. But they didn't want to do that. They wanted to come together and actually play. You know what I mean? Because this team is just they get it. All these kids, they get it. And I hate to say it, because after they talk about this matchup, we'll talk about that. But like that team, they're a team. And with all these stars, they're still a team, and that says a lot, especially at the college level. So,
and that's why I really would like most of them to be on the Hornets next year. Even though in that Kentucky Baylor game there was a moment where literally every single NBA lottery team shit their pants, or Anthony Davis went down. But then he was fine. So we all went, phew. But barring an injury happening like that, because once that happened, he went out. Like, Baylor sort of got back in it. Almost. But
that's why Cody Zeller was able to beat them early on in the year, because Anthony Davis wasn't on the court, but Cody Zeller can play though.
He's actually leapfrogged his brother on most draft boards, because his brother got pwned by Davis, and Zeller was actually able to score on him.
His brother is the second most overrated player in the country.
Yeah, that's a guy I don't want. And I hope Cody Zeller comes out, because that dude does not need 4 years of college. I can see why because his brother might be a flop. But Cody Zeller, no, man. You got the goods. Come on. I can't even talk about Louisville because I don't really know them.
I mean, what's the thing with Louisville is they won the Big East tournament, so they haven't lost a game in a while, and it kind of reminds me of Connecticut from last year. Didn't Connecticut win they won the tournament and then they didn't lose? So,
but the only difference is they don't have a player like Kemba Walker. That was just kind of Jim Calhoun riding Kemba Walker. This team is mainly Rick Pitino's doing all of this, and I can't believe this guy. Like, he might be the best coach, like, period, right now in basketball. Real shit. Like, that dude, I can't believe this team, the way they're playing right now.
This is his favorite team since '87.
That's crazy when you think about it, because he had some, remember '96 Kentucky? He had some great teams, man. It's fucking crazy.
Like, I don't know too much about Louisville, because given the Hornets record, I'm only looking at teams with talent that is going to be in my little draft range, and they haven't popped in there ever.
The thing about them, they've been injury plagued throughout the whole season, right? And now they're all healthy.
Yeah, and they're like they remind me of the movie Hoosiers. They just got it right now because of being a team, man. I don't know, like Kentucky will win this game, but do not be shocked if it's really, really close. Don't be shocked.
Them dudes in Hoosiers didn't have to face Anthony Davis. God, I need to save it, because I need to save it for when we talk about after this stuff. But
and Michael Kid-Gilchrist, they have to face him.
Yeah, we'll get to him later. I'll let y'all all do your own top 5. I don't know if y'all have top 5. I got top 5 dudes coming out. If they come out. Yeah, if they come out. Number 5 is provisional. But oh God, Kentucky's just playing on a whole. They scored 102 points in a damn college game.
It's just crazy.
They scored 102 points in a damn college game. I really don't see a situation unless that they hire some people and they catch Anthony Davis in the back and they Nancy Kerrigan his ass. I don't really see how Louisville wins this game, barring college basketball being its typical no logical sense making self, and then somehow through miracles or C.J. McCollum transfers or some shit.
Shut the fuck up. Just stop. He had to do that because I'm a Duke fan. He had fuck that guy.
But yeah, I can't talk about that game. I just can't, because I don't see any situation where Kentucky's not playing for the national title, barring unforeseen events.
Yeah, I just talked up Louisville, but I'm sorry, they have no chance. Like, Rick Pitino, this job he's done is the best he's ever done, but they have no chance.
If you're gonna beat Kentucky, the only way I could think is that you need to score on every possession and then never turn it over. That's it.
That's pretty much what Indiana did. They shot 53%, and then Davis got in foul trouble, and they only turned the ball over like 5 times that game or some shit like that.
You have to keep turnovers low, and you have to score.
That and that's why I say I think this game will be close. Like, they won't turn the ball over. They don't shoot well at all, but that's just being honest. That's going to be their downfall, but they haven't been turning the ball over, man. Like, this Rick Pitino, that's all I got to say. Like, he's the most outstanding person this tournament. I don't care, if they lose this next game, Rick Pitino he should win Coach of the Year. He should win everything ever this year.
It's already in the Hall of Fame, isn't he?
Yeah, already in the Hall.
Okay, we can't do that again.
I would do it again. I'd be like, fuck it. Let's renew how couples renew their vows? Just do that for him. Just put him back in the Hall. This guy. And I'm a Duke fan. I love Coach K, but I can admit that this year, just Rick Pitino, one of the best jobs ever. Period.
Yeah.
But they're gonna lose.
They're gonna get eaten alive, demolished, trashed, murdered, crank-eyed, gang bang.
So we got Kentucky and Kansas. We seem to agree on that.
You agree? Okay, you do.
Yeah, I'll go with that.
I don't think the general public is gonna like that game, but basketball geeks are gonna go nuts. Unless
I feel like go ahead, Chase. Go ahead.
Unless it is not the defensive battle I'm expecting.
Yeah, that's exactly what it's going to be.
If it's not a defensive battle and it's a running and then it goes all running, Kentucky's winning.
Yeah, if this game is high scoring, this game will not be close. It won't. And I have a vested interest in Kansas because I want to look like a genius. Because before the year started, when the season ended last season, I was like, Kansas will win the national title. I said that. So just keep that in mind. Look, check my Twitter timeline. Ask anyone I know. I said that. So if they win, just know that I said that. But on paper, I have to be honest, man. Kentucky, they adapt to any style you play and beat you at it. So I feel like Kansas can play with this team. Like Chase is acting like this team is like 2001 Duke or 90.
2001 Duke had 3 losses. Kentucky has 2.
Well, dude, you know what the fuck I mean. Like they also play in a better conference, but for your info. But Chase is acting like this team is like that or 2004 UConn or some shit like that. Like, no, they aren't. They aren't. Here's the thing. Kansas, I think, is the best matchup for them. Period. Out of every team in this tournament, I thought that coming into it, they can play with them. This game will be close. I don't know if they'll win, but it will be close.
Just one thing: if Ohio State wins, ain't gonna be close.
I mean, yeah, but they're not gonna win. You don't have to worry about that because Ohio State's not gonna win. But
what if they win though? They could win. I mean, college basketball doesn't make no sense.
I mean, that's true, but I don't think so. I know. And Aaron Craft will have to score, and he can't. So on a consistent basis, so they're not gonna win. They're not.
They could,
but they're not. So
they could.
And Jared Sullinger can't do shit with Thomas Robinson, but watch him score. So yeah, it's not gonna be cool.
I'm really intrigued to see Anthony Davis match up against Thomas Robinson.
I've been waiting for that all year. Two players in college basketball this year.
That is probably going to be awesome to watch. I don't see how he doesn't get stuffed every time. But that game's going to be really hard. It's really going to come down to is if they play a slow pace, Kansas has a chance. Sanders, your mic is near the speakers.
And that's what I think is going to happen. Bill Self, I would think in a coaching matchup against Calipari any day of the week. And college basketball is about having good coaching on top of having talent. Look at every team that's won ever. So,
I mean, you heard Anthony Davis's quote about John Calipari earlier.
These guys to the league. That's what Anthony Davis said. So, what does that tell you about Calipari,
I want to get to the league, and he's going to get guy to the league, so I'm here.
Well, what does that tell you about him,
He's playing like a team. He's...
No, I won't lie. Compared to...
He's not playing like Austin Rivers.
Shut up. Stop. But I'll be honest, though. Like, this year, Calipari has done a job with these guys. Like, I don't know if it's them or I don't know if it's him, but they're playing together. They're playing like a unit.
Some people are saying it's MKG.
It might be. I don't know, but because he actually wanted to come to school, like he was wanting to get. Never mind. Let's not talk about this because you know what I'm gonna go off on, Chase. We're not gonna talk about that.
We'll get to that once we talk about the draft after this, but
okay.
I would say Kansas has about a 33% chance in this game and Kentucky about a 66% chance.
I go a little higher. I say 40, but
But man,
and that's if Kansas wins. Like Chase says, man, shit is crazy. Anything can happen.
yeah.
And like I said, I'm 90% sure Kentucky will win this game, man. But don't be shocked if just college basketball and Louisville wins this game. Don't be surprised. You never know, man.
Then KG might stay in school, so don't let that happen, Rick Pitino. Think about your good old pal Monty Williams, and that he could use a talented, really extremely talented forward, and just lose that game. All right.
Sanders, you got anything to add, man?
I was going to talk about Calipari, but
You can.
no, like they were talking about how Calipari and Patino hate each other. And then if Kansas wins, then people were saying, "Oh, it's going to be so interesting because Calipari and Bill Self hate each other too." Well, so why does everybody hate Calipari?
Because well, here's my theory. Okay, he's not a nice guy. Like even his players will tell you that. He's not, as Derrick Rose will tell you that. But I think on top of that, like everywhere he goes, there's some type of scandal. Look at Derrick Rose. Look at just look at just what Memphis is going through, just as a university because of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And people were wondering about what was that thing with John Wall a couple years ago? What about him? What happened there? I can't remember, but it was something there. I can't remember. Look that up, Chase. You're good at that.
I'm doing it.
But like people always didn't they get like scholarships revoked or something like that? But
they had to forfeit wins.
Yeah, see, there you go.
It's kind of dumb when the shit already happened.
Yeah, there you go. It's always something with him. So I think a lot of people just don't like that. He's not by the book, and I don't like him because I think he's overrated. But that's just my guess. I think people don't like the way that he runs his teams. I guess would be a good way.
Well, I think that's why all these kids want to play for him, though, because he takes the stress off of all the academics, so they could just focus on basketball.
And he gets guys to the league, like
yeah. If you want to get to the NBA, you play for Calipari. I guess it's ever since the one and done type of thing came about, everyone's playing for him.
And since then, he's won 0 national titles.
Championship. And we say it every year, Kentucky's unbeatable, and it never happens. But
I have not thought that though this year.
Yeah,
mainly because I have not paid attention to college basketball till this year.
Now, like I'll admit, man, the Wall Cousins team, they were the favorite. I mean, the Memphis team with Derrick Rose, that was all him. Like that was 100% Calipari. That made me say that guy's overrated because they should have won that game. But
what was it, free throw shooting?
It was not just that. Like it was just some of the he was fouling like Mario Chalmers and shit like that.
All right.
What was he doing? Whatever. Mario Chalmers shot 87% that year from the line, some shit like that. Idiot.
Oh man, that fucking Clippers fans throwing peanuts at Monty Williams.
Did they lose, Chase?
No, the game's still going on there in Los Angeles. What do you mean did they lose? I want them to lose.
That's what I'm asking.
You need to say did they win? God, once we get to the NBA, but yeah, I think Calipari's finally gonna get his title with Kentucky.
If I had to bet, I would say so, but I hope not. I don't like that guy.
When's the last time he won the championship with Marcus Camby?
He wasn't there. That was Tubby Smith.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, that was
So has Calipari ever won an NCAA championship?
Am I right? Am I wrong about that?
I can't remember.
Camby, where did Camby go?
He went to UMass, right?
Yeah.
Okay, they didn't win that year, did they?
I think they did.
I
think what was it? 96 Kentucky won.
Yeah, 96. That was Rick Pitino and Antoine Walker and everyone in the world.
Oh, this is funny. Technically, according to NCAA history books, UMass never was in the Final Four.
See that?
See that?
See? You see?
Even though they were. Oh, man. Don't be shocked if it happens this year, too, because if you ever heard Anthony Davis do an interview, the dude is a outline sign on a basketball court, but everywhere else.
He reminds me so much of Marcus Camby, though. Every time I watch him, I'm like, wow.
No,
Like,
no.
you would think
Yeah,
they're like
I would say Kevin Garnettish. That's what I see the most.
Well, I'm not talking about like obviously Davis is a much better shooter,
Hey.
but just the way they move and like the way their body looks.
Well, we'll get to that. All right, so we all think Kentucky's gonna win.
Except me, but you know.
Yeah, except you.
Yeah, I pick Kentucky.
Watch comments be like, "Oh, you guys, why you? They're like the Miami Heat of basketball. What are y'all doing, man?" But yeah, now if we're gonna talk about what I'm really just interested in, all these slave labor basketball players, is that eventually they're gonna get paid. Hopefully they get paid is by the New Orleans Hornets, but they're gonna go to other teams too. And although this year there are some new rules about entering the draft, the NCAA has declared that by April 10th, you must either be in school or out, while the NBA's deadline, which is the one that actually matters, is April 29th. But since some of these kids aren't the brightest ones in the world, you'll probably see a lot of declarations happening in about all around April 10th. And then if some people haven't decided by then, you'll see a bunch more flood in around the April 29th area. Once that happens, May 1st, teams can start working them out. And then May 30th is the draft lottery. And then June 30th is the NBA draft and the Prudential Center in Newark, New Jersey, which will probably be the last NBA event there ever. Kind of weird. But Nets are moving to Brooklyn. But my opinion, top 5 players in this draft. I don't want to shock you, but I think Anthony Davis.
Yeah, no shock, no shock to anyone.
2 and 3 is really hard for me because I'll watch a Kentucky game and be like, "Damn, Michael Kid-Gilchrist," and then I'll watch Kansas and I'll be like, "Damn, Thomas Robinson," and then Kentucky will come on and I'll say, "Damn, Michael Kid-Gilchrist," and then Kansas will come back on and I'm going to cop out here. I'm going to say 2-3 tie Michael Kid-Gilchrist, Thomas Robinson, because I cannot decide between them two at all, which is better, because I guess just talk about, I'll just talk about the players. Anthony Davis is a freak of nature. I don't know if you don't know his story. He started out as a 6-foot guard, had a freakish growth spurt to where he's now 6'10" with a 7'6" wingspan. So he is that big.
Which is just the craziest shit ever in history. But go ahead.
He is that large with that frame, and he has guard ball handling skills. This big guy is so good at shooting free throws. He shoots the technicals for Kentucky. A center is shooting technicals for Kentucky. He's that good at shooting. When he's not like most people that block shots that just like to swat things in the stands, i.e. JaVale McGee. Kentucky actually gets the possession when he blocks a shot 72% of the time, which is freakish. He has demolished Shaquille O'Neal's freshman block record. He's demolished the Kentucky.
And that's a record I thought would never fall. So
he did it.
Tell you something.
20 games.
Yeah,
he did this.
Yeah,
is deep. Since he's still kind of light and small, so he has the quickness. So on pick and rolls, he can actually pick up guards and guard them successfully, and actually shut them down and create turnovers off of this. He does this frequently. The only negative is that he doesn't really have a true post-up game, but you don't really need him to do that. He's going to be like a cleanup guy on a team, which is a lot what Marcus Camby does, but he's a lot more quicker and athletic. I don't really see a negative in this guy's game, and personally, I think he's the best prospect to come out since LeBron James.
Yeah, I don't see who else you could say.
Like if we were gonna do a whole NBA fantasy draft, only people I would take over Anthony Davis would be LeBron James and Kevin Durant. Other than that, I would want Anthony Davis. Like I really think this guy's gonna transform what people think of what a power forward can be, much like Kevin Garnett and Tim Duncan did when they came in the league. Whichever team he gets drafted to, minus because they're too damn bad, he's going to immediately change the direction of that franchise.
You said minus Charlotte, right?
Minus Charlotte.
I'm sorry. No, I was going to say the thing about this kid, Anthony Davis, it's like comparing him to Garnett. Garnett never really had the ball handling skills that this kid has.
No,
like he could grab, rebound, and just lead the break.
What I meant is that when Kevin Garnett and Tim Duncan entered the league, they changed what a power forward could be because they shot a lot of mid-range shots and stretched the floor, which is now where the stretch four term comes from. This kid is just like a completely different animal. Yeah, I'm gonna just keep gushing about him forever.
You all right, Chase?
Let's not get carried away, man.
We're so damn bad. I don't know if you can tell. Really bad. Problem is that it's an NBA draft lottery, so
That's the dumbest shit ever, by the way. The worst team should get the top pick. Simple as that.
I don't want him going to Charlotte. He'll have a bad career there.
I mean, but they should, though. That's how it should go, man.
All right, whatever. Hornets have a chance at him, and I'm desperately hoping for that. But I don't know. Do you want to talk about Thomas Robinson, and I'll talk about Kid-Gilchrist, Markeem?
I mean, this is your top five. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, it's my top five. Thomas Robinson. I guess what you could say is that he's a lot like Blake Griffin, except that he has actual post moves and he defense. That's about the easiest comparison I could make. So, yes, I would say he's better than Blake Griffin already. The dude has, again, I guess it's from working for Mario Chalmers, which a lot of people wouldn't give Mario Chalmers that much credit, and he's the one readily handling the ball for the Heat since LeBron's the actual point guard. But he has incredible handles for a power forward. His mid-range jumper is inconsistent, but once you get paid to play, I would hope he'd work on that. Although he did pull up from three in that Carolina game and actually hit it. He is also a very good defender. In fact, I can think of 2 games in this tournament where he literally saved it on a block. I don't know which ones they were specific.
The
NC State was one of them.
Yeah, because they were coming back towards the end. And
the one right before Carolina. God,
Cincinnati?
Yeah.
No, it was not.
No.
Was that Cincinnati? No, that was
It was the one right before Carolina.
Yeah, but who did they play?
Hold on, I'm going to the bracket.
I do not remember. Jesus.
Yeah, this is kind of nuts since we just saw this game happen Friday, and then all right, here, Kansas. All right.
Ohio State played Cincinnati. I'm wrong.
NC State and Purdue, that was it.
They got Purdue, yeah.
Purdue was the other one. He's literally won 2 games on the block, which you'll never see Blake Griffin doing. This guy's probably a 2010 guy in the league. I would multiple All-Stars shock me, but if he ends up in the Western Conference, it's going to be really hard to make the All-Star team at that position with Blake, Kevin Love, and LaMarcus Aldridge. But that, again, besides the shooting and the free throws, with these 69%, I don't really see a downside on this kid either. I love this draft. Like last year's, there was really only one dude. I guess I could talk about Michael Kid-Gilchrist now, but the thing about him is that most people are really impressed by his character. And I don't know why that comes first.
I mean, because, man, he's so just, he's humble, man.
I know he's really humble. There's that story about how his dad died, and he like watches The Lion King every week because of it.
Yeah, boo-hoo, I saw that too. I was like, oh, that so has nothing to do with his game, but go ahead.
All right.
Sweet, but has nothing to do with his game.
Let's talk about, okay, Michael Kid-Gilchrist is probably really underrated because, like, oh God, there's a fight going on in this Orange Clipper game. All right, watch it. All right, like Davis, Kid-Gilchrist is also a defensive force at his position. Although it's really not seen, he is so good defensive. Like, he's so good at staying with people. He's like the Davis Michael Kid-Gilchrist combo literally almost nullified the pick and roll for their opponents. They're both so damn good. Like there was a point where Kid-Gilchrist was actually Quincy ACs who defended him successfully, which for little guys extremely impressive. He is incredible in the fast break in traffic. He's actually converting 71% on the fast break, which if you hear a guy shooting 71%, I don't have to tell you that's first in the nation in that shot. He's extremely good in the half of the rim. Really great handle. He's an incredibly good passer. I'm sure many of you have seen Anthony Davis alley oops. Most of the time, the guy throwing that pass is Gilchrist.
Yeah.
And another guy where I don't really see any negatives. And I'm happy that he's planning on coming out. My guy number 4 overall, Jared Sullinger. If I'm actually this guy, I'm going to talk about it. He's got some negatives. He needs to lose some weight. This dude is incredibly slow on defense. Granted, he's a banger a lot. Like, he doesn't do a lot. He stays really, really low on the block. He gets most of the points. Rebound. But defensively, he is a huge liability. Guys that are taller than him can score easily. Guys are quicker and score on him. But offensively, he's probably got the best touch fight within the basket in college basketball. The only guy that really comes close to Cody Zeller. He's an incredibly good post defender. Although in a lot of NBA circles, he is falling down draft boards all of a sudden because people have looked at his measurements and one of his legs is 2.5 inches longer than the other one. The last draft prospects also have this physical trait for Greg Oden. So even though there's no evidence to support that one of Greg Oden's legs longer, that's why he's all in all of a sudden. Jared Sullinger sliding for the Hornets might get him that Minnesota pick. If that happened, I would be extremely happy. Because here I am calling both core out all guys and slide down to 10 to 15. Nuts. And my number 4 of the tournament, the guy I had at number 5 overall was Harrison Barnes. Then Kendall Martin got open, and you saw that the dude could not create his own shot. But on the other hand, Cody Zeller decided to show the world how awesome he was. So I really think that Cody Zeller's a great center in the NBA. He's really good defensively. Actually, I don't see too many negatives on him. He's not 7 feet tall like his brother. But if he had his brother's body, and like if he had Tyler's body and Cody Skills, that would be like a great fucking center. But the problem is that Tyler's Tyler, Cody. He only has a 6'8" reach for 6'11" guy, which is weird. But I really like his game. Is he the only guy that's been able to score on Anthony Davis like that?
So far this year, yeah.
Like that is. And if Anthony Davis is in the NBA right now, he'd be the best defensive talent at his position. Should I just tell you how good of a post Cody Zeller is? But yeah, that's top 5. The only guy that's really happening in negative is Jared Salter. So logically, actually,
So you done, Chase? You done boring us?
Yeah, I'm done boring you. Your turn.
No, I'm just playing, Chase. Number 1 is obviously Anthony Davis. I mean, ditto pretty much everything Chase said. The guy is it's beyond amazing how he's been. You know what I mean? He like I said, he's unselfish, as I was saying earlier. Defensively, no one in the country is even close to what he can do. You know, his like Chase said, you know, he spread everything. The guy's virtually perfect. You know, he's what you want. You know what I mean? He can change any franchise as soon as you put him on the court. He's on par with top NBA players already. He pretty much wasted his time having to go to college, but you know, whatever. Anthony Davis. My number 2, and this is extremely biased, I can admit this, is Thomas Robinson. He's been my favorite player to watch all year, so I'm a little biased. As I said though, like his speed is phenomenal. He can run a fast break by himself. I've seen him do it a few times. It's fucking nuts. The guy defensively on almost another level from everyone except Davis, I would say. The dude is a freak. He's quick. His gas tank is phenomenal. Like he'll give you the same thing he gave you when the game at tip off. He'll give you the same thing in the last 2 minutes. Yeah, you know, he can shoot a little bit, but he can. And number 3, Michael Kid-Gilchrist. This is gonna sound a lot like Chase's top 5, but you know, I think our fives are different though. Like I said, Michael Kid-Gilchrist. You know, he's a great defensive player at his position, just like Anthony Davis. The guy has a jumper. The guy's a great passer. There's not much he can't do, to be honest with you. He's in any other draft, he'll be the number 1 pick. You know I mean, so Michael Kid-Gilchrist also. As much as I think the guy's overrated, you can't deny his ability to score in the post, and that would be Jared Sullinger. I just think that like Chase said, he needs to get in shape. But not only that, mentally, I just think the dude's soft. Let's just be honest with you. I've seen him lock up so many times this year. I've seen just him miss clutch, bro. He's mentally. I ate the ball line from Skip Bayless, but the kid does not have the at all. You know, just whatever. You know, but you know, he has so much upside. The guy can become something great. And number 5, I don't know, like it's like 3 or 4 guys usually put in that spot. You know, like you said, Cody Zeller. I think Terry Jones is that good. To be honest with you. But I don't know. I guess I would go with Cody Zeller. But
plagiarist, man.
Huh?
Plagiarist.
I don't know, but it's not a runaway by no means. It's like that number 5 spot. This draft is deep, like Chase said, like really deep. Like it's crazy. Like there's a lot of these guys. Like it's like 6 guys most drafted number 1 picks. Like no, I don't know, but I don't know. John Henson when he played this year was up too. But I don't know. So I guess I would go with Cody Zeller. It's a runaway, not a runaway by any means. Okay, Sam. Oh.
All right, I'll just say this. I pretty much have like the same, top 3 or 4 guys that you got. But let me touch on Harrison Barnes. It seems like his stock has kind of gone down over the last year.
Dude can't create his own shot.
He's got a nice fadeaway jump shot, which I think is a great move for the NBA game. So I think he has. I mean, he commands a double team, and I just like the way he could, that fadeaway is just huge. I think. But as far as another guy that I saw the St. Bonaventure game against what was it, Florida State. I don't know if you guys saw that game in the first round.
You can talk about Andrew Nicholson.
Andrew Nicholson, yeah, that's the one guy. He's
sleeper.
pretty dominant. I'm not sure how high he could be, but I think that's one name that stands out. I'm trying to think of someone else. Oh, the dude from Michigan State.
Draymond Green?
Yeah. I mean, not
just
top 5.
cleared.
Just trying to think of some other names that might, be in the top 15 or whatever.
Oh, look, I can tell you that if you took North Carolina's and Kentucky starting 5, that's like 8 of them right there.
Hey, I didn't even bring up Kendall Marshall, but that dude's gonna be a good NBA point guard. Seriously.
How would you compare Teague to his brother?
That is a good question. Like, compared him to his brother, as you said.
Yeah, say maybe 3 or 4 years from now, could you see them how would you see both guys?
Jeff Teague is really streaky right now. Some nights he looks like, man, this dude can run the team.
Right now?
Other nights he looks like, get this dude out of here.
I don't know, but his brother, I would say he's more reliable. I would say that.
He's definitely better as a point guard.
Yeah, better passer.
Is he going to stay an extra year?
I really doubt it.
I'm pretty sure Kentucky wins the title. Their start 5's gone. Probably a couple dudes off the bench, except for that white dude that shoots threes.
That white guy that shoots threes.
Yeah, I don't remember his name. He's not on my please come to New Orleans radar.
I don't remember his name either.
In fact, if Dell Demps was locking the kids in the locker room, he would ask him to leave first. But yeah, we'll probably talk about the draft more in depth once it gets time. Even though we did pretty in depth on the top 5 right there, but there's 60 picks in that draft, so that's 55 more to do. Anyway,
it's so deep, so many just great players in this draft. Seriously,
let me count the ones from last year. 1, 2.
And I hate him, but he's good. I won't lie.
I don't know.
Were you the guy that said fuck Kyrie Irving?
Yeah, that was me.
What was that about?
He's a Duke fan.
But that was because of that rule. I wouldn't hate him if it wasn't for this stupid rule.
Oh, that's right. You're from Carolina. That's right.
Why don't you hate Austin Rivers? He was bad though. Was Kyrie Irving bad?
No. Well, he was the last few games he played, but he was also hurt. I just feel like God, give me a season. Give me a season. That's all I'm saying. Just one.
But he was good in those couple games he played, whereas Austin Rivers ruined shot selection.
Now I won't lie. So at times this year, I was in love with Austin. There were other times, especially during the tournament. I was and during the ACC tournament, he pissed me off a lot too. But he during the season though, he got better. You know what I mean? But he just went back to that bullshit when the games really mattered. So. I don't know what was up with him.
I still can't believe he pulled up from NBA 3 in that Carolina game. I know he hit the shot, but still. You gonna pull up from NBA 3 with a 7-footer in front of you?
And I don't know why Roy Williams had fucking Tyler Zeller out there. For what?
They switched on a pick and roll, and they didn't switch back, which shows you the awareness of Tyler Zeller. Yeah. All right. Anyways, back to the NBA.